says it's being live streamed, so
it gives you a new key every time. Why would you do such a thing?
Wait 1 minute.
So, we're definitely live on Twitch.
Right, we are live on YouTube. Okay, I've got that there. As I say, I'm going to end up going back and forth, so I don't know if I'll pick up all the chat.
I think Twitch is broke in general.
Yeah. Let me just start recording this just so we've got the audio there.
Wasn't expecting that. Even though I just said I'm going to do
it. Shall we get him on?
Right. Make sure I mute that because I've just heard me talking on Twitch.
Shall we get him in?
Just put a quick another post up on Thingy on Instagram to say we're live now, kind of thing.
Right. A minute.
It's got to be an easier way to look at your chat, you know, I swear to God.
Where's did you send us that picture? I don't think you did you?
I don't know, like I just when you said to update it to 8 o'clock, I just took a screenshot of the story, to be honest with you. So
I'm just gonna take a picture of us like this. It looks like you're putting that yourself, like what?
I am. Fuck this now, Ed.
You already provided the
links are in the original post, yeah.
Yeah. I literally just put we're live.
We are.
Let me get Sam in. Oh no, what are you doing? Stop messing up. Right, okay, I've sent that over.
As you can all tell, we're very professional.
I was going to say we tried, but that would be a lie. Oh,
we did a little bit. Like, not that much.
Yeah, just tiny, teeny tiny.
So yeah, we're just waiting for Sam to join us. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's been literally about a month since we've done an actual podcast.
I think our last one was Aush, innit?
Aush, yeah. Which, considering neither of us have had anything really going on in life except for work, is rare for us.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had the stream over the weekend in which Twitch was being a bitch.
And in which restreams turned out to be a bitch as well.
Well, again, we had to set it up in such short amount of time. We didn't have time to go through the plans and the reading stuff. We were already 50 minutes behind.
And because of the madness, we forgot to record each interview to put up.
Yeah. I mean, my computer probably thanks us for not recording it, to be honest.
Yeah, 20
we'd still be waiting for it to process now.
Yeah, because it all processed after you end the things, isn't it?
Right, so Sam is just about to join us. He is in the waiting room.
Okay.
So, here we go. What a way to start.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
No, wonderfully. How are you today?
All good.
Good stuff, mate. There's an interesting picture that you got there with the horse. We thought that was how you were starting. How's things, mate? You okay?
Yeah, doing wonderfully. Just loving life.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Good to see that you're living up to the nickname of Smilen.
All day, every day.
Love it. So yeah, thank you for joining us. No, you're probably a busy man, so I really appreciate you taking the time out to have a chat with us today.
Oh, it truly is my pleasure, guys. Thank you. Hey, where are you guys from, anyways?
Liverpool, in the UK.
Okay, UK. Perfect. Okay. I would have guessed the accent.
Yeah. You probably heard it quite a bit recently with Paddy and that, haven't you? So.
So first things first, then Sam. How did you get started in MMA?
Some guy asked if I wanted to fight. I was a green belt in Kobudo, so in weapons like nunchucks and sai and bow staffs and stuff. I got halfway through my to my black belt. And then I started doing like a pancration, which is fighting, but nothing to the head. And I was just jumping in, doing what I could do. And eventually some guy said, "Hey, you want to fight?" I said, "You sure? Let's do it." And that was the start. Got my ass kicked round 2, and I was hooked.
Always starts with the ass kicking, doesn't it? So you obviously made your pro MMA debut in 2008. For you, how's the sport changed in those past 14 years since you started?
Man, it's crazy how good everyone's got. Like Sam from back then wouldn't have been able to do it. Wouldn't have been able to compete with the guys nowadays. There's so much more to the sport than there used to be. I like thinking I'm the last of my kind. I'm the last guy that just showed up out of the street and won fights. And now if you show up out of the street, you're not winning fights. And I just had a blast doing it. So I kept doing it. But seeing the other thing that's changed quite a bit is the pay. I have so many professional fights where I got like gas money. And that was it. And that doesn't happen anymore.
And even then, that's sort of debatable, isn't it? So, but yeah, at least it's a lot better than just gas money.
Yeah.
Obviously, the majority of the changes in the sport have been massively positive. Have you noticed any changes that sort of may not have been for the best over the past 14 years?
Fighters are sissier now than they ever were before. Like they just are. They all pick their fights. They're not going to fight this guy if he's too tough or this or that. If you look at my career, it was like if somebody said, "Let's fight," I said, "Okay, let's do it." And that is the way I have always been. Fighters nowadays are a bunch of sissies.
You sort of kept that same mentality since that first day when someone asked you to fight. You just kept that mentality of let's do it.
Yeah, it's really the only reason I'm still in the UFC, I think, is because if you look at my last 8 fights or so, I've not once fought the guy I was supposed to fight. Actually, that's not true. 8 fights ago was Nogueira. I was supposed to fight him. After Nogueira, it was 10 days notice, 12 days notice, last minute switch, last minute this, last minute that. We're going here now. And I've never hesitated. I said, all right, let's do it. Like, I've got to fight now, August 6th. I know good and well I'm not fighting that guy. I know good and well it's somebody else. So he's going to get hurt, or his polos or his visa is going to get declined. I'm going to end up fighting someone else.
Yeah, you look at your record, and quite recently you'll see cancel bout, and it's like just a lot of those switches.
Oh, it's infuriating.
Does that throw you off at all, or do you just sort of
apparently
keep
I can't
going?
win a damn fight. Apparently it does something terrible to me. Didn't used to. You know what it is they keep, I'm supposed to fight, a Russian wrestler, and then it gets switched, for next week, and it's going to be a German kickboxer. It's like, well, damn it. There we go. Now everything I was going to do is completely opposite.
Maybe that's the only way they can beat you, though. It's like, we're going to tell him it's this guy, but really he's fighting this guy, but we won't tell him until a week before.
My last fight against Brendan Allen, I started the camp. I was supposed to fight Ian Heinisch. Ian Heinisch backed out about 4 weeks before it, and then I was supposed to fight Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes, D1 wrestler, grinder. Supposed to fight him until 3 days before the fight, and then Brendan Allen. They were all teammates. They trained together every day. Like, damn it. I don't want to think they had it planned, but maybe they had it planned.
Yeah, I reckon they worked it out. It's like, come 3 days before, let's let Brendan fight him. We'll throw him off. But that sort of kind of worked well with the next question. So we do want to ask for those people who believe you should have been cut, especially when you see others fighters being cut with less losses. What do you say to those? Is it a reason you stated there, or would you say it anything else to them?
Well, no. So it's actually, I've had this plan. It's intentional is what I'm doing. I've seen the rise of boxing, and I really want to fight Jake Paul, but I do know if I win fights, he's not going to want to fight me. So I've been losing these fights to make myself a little more appealing for Jake. Now, problem is I'm not retired yet. I know he doesn't want any part of anyone that's not retired, and I'm the same size as him. So he doesn't like either of those things. So I've had to lose a couple extra fights just to try and get him to take the bait.
I mean, that makes sense. That's how he works.
we planned it out. Me and my coaches, we sat down, had a meeting, and said, "This is what we're gonna do."
Have you went to Jake and said, "Listen, I've lost this many fights. I'm not retired. How much are you putting up?"
So my losing is over now. I think I've lost enough. Even if I win, when I win this next one, it's not going to be an issue because I'll be able to say, "Look, I lost. This is a fluke. This is what." But I'll get that microphone, and I'll be able to call him out on stage then.
That's it. I can just imagine the Jake Paul advertising campaign. Are you retired MMA? Can you not box? Have you lost 4 fights in a row? We want you.
Have you just had a hip surgery a year ago?
There you go.
Did you used to play basketball?
There you go. Sam Alvey, the mastermind.
That's it. It's all a game plan.
It's all coming together.
So have you ever had any thought about maybe dropping back down into middleweight?
Yeah, no, my last couple fights were supposed to be middleweight. My next fight is middleweight. Again, my last fight, I was supposed to fight Phil Hawes or Brennan. No, who's first? Heinisch, then Hawes, and those are both middleweight fights. I was on weight when I got the call saying Hawes is out. You got to fight at 205 against Brandon Allen. Like, son of a bitch.
So this one, August 6th, is middleweight because I think I looked on Topology and they had it light heavy.
No, it's middleweight. He is a light heavyweight who's cutting down to middleweight for the first time.
Right.
Okay.
That's fine.
So it's kind of stupid on our part. We should have just met it light heavy or whatever.
Topology needs to sort it out, though. That's bad information.
Yeah, I know. Makes us look bad. I mean, not that we're perfect, but you know what I mean.
So we know you've sort of done a bit of commentary and things like that before. How helpful has that been to you as an active fighter to be able to see that side of it as well?
Yeah, so I'm a commentator for B2 Fight Series. I'm like an official. I sit there every fight, just about every fight, and I absolutely love this. I've always hit hard. I can punch, I can wrestle, I can do all that stuff. But man, can I talk? You get me on a microphone, I won't shut up. And now someone's paying me to talk for 2 hours or 4 hours or however long the card is. This is like the dream job. So this is great. As I get better, that I've done it one time, like for the full card, done it one time, and it's more difficult than you think. You have to. It's not just talking. You've got to talk about what's going on, but you have to. Cage fighting, the same stuff happens very similarly in every fight, just at different times. So you have to find 1,000 different ways to say the same thing all night long, and it's hard. You've always got to have something. The word. That's why the UFC now usually has 3 commentators just to make sure there's no dead space. So they're always rambling about something.
Yeah. So I take it you haven't had to extend any broadcast just yet because you're talking too much.
Well, your accent was too thick for me.
I get that. Have you had to extend any broadcast then? You say you love to talk. Have you had to extend any broadcast just because you won't shut up?
I'm official. So the name of the organization, the broadcaster, is the B2 Fight Series. So that's who I'm working with. They're the biggest organization, biggest under the UFC organization in the United States. They have 48 to 50 shows a year.
Nice. So after we put Jake Paul on his ass, do you think you'll become a pundit?
Like I said, I am a pundit now. I'm just for B2. No, I'll take out B2, or I'll take out B2. I'll take out Jake Paul. I'll take out his brother. I beat the hell out of his brother already, it was my fault. I wasn't thinking of the future when I did it. Beat the tar out of his brother sparring. Jake was in the room when I did it. And now I don't know that Jake would make eye contact with me, let alone. But we'll try. So I'll beat his brother's ass, and then we'll see what goes on from there. Man, you know what? I've always wanted to fight Anderson Silva. He's the greatest that's ever been. I mean, he really is. And maybe I'll get the chance to fight him in boxing. That would be such a tough fight.
Yeah, his hands are unbelievable, aren't they? Like crazy. So to move on to the next one, then you're an advocate for foster children. Can you just talk a bit about where that started and how important it is to you?
Yeah, so I've got 5 kids. Baby number 6 is due here like any minute now. She was due 2 weeks ago and just hasn't come out yet. So
Stubborn.
like at any time, this little one's gonna come out. But one of my five kids is a foster baby that we adopted. We got her brand new. She's 3 days old, and she's never known a family other than ours. So she's as Alvey as I am. And it all started, we were trying to adopt a child from Africa, and we put all sorts of money into doing it. And then the country, Ghana, shut it down and said, nope, nobody is adopting Ghana children. And we're keeping your money. So that's kind of what they said. Well, shit. So we didn't get to adopt that way, but it opened the door to our eyes as to what's going on. And fostering became very apparent that it was something we would like to do. We're even trying to continue doing it here in Tennessee, but now that we have 6 kids, it's more difficult. So we're figuring it out.
Yeah. Is
not difficult on our end. It's the state won't give us more kids because we have 6 already.
Right. Okay. Is you said that they took your money off your ad. How much does like fostering cost? That might be our question.
I was trying to adopt. So
right. Okay.
Yeah, that was I was $21,000 or $22,000 into it. Yeah, we were doing everything right. We were just about booking our tickets to Africa to meet the child that we were looking at bringing home. And then the government of Ghana said, not today, son. And then they just cut off all communication.
We've got your money. That's it. You're done.
And it wasn't just, they cut it off to everyone. I have no idea if it's back to working for everyone again yet, but they nobody was allowed to adopt children from Ghana for a while.
Right.
No.
It's a very elaborate scam if it is.
People are these stupid Americans.
So one thing we've got to ask you about is obviously you are also a substitute teacher, I believe. How did that come about? Is that something you were always wanting to do as well, was it?
When I was in 5th grade, I had a teacher, Mr. Carroll, just loved him. And I said, well, I'm going to be a 5th grade teacher. And then I became a UFC fighter instead. So it was a similar clear career path. It just took a right on me. But out in California, I taught all day long. I just taught MMA and jiu-jitsu and kickboxing stuff. I worked with kids. I worked with adults. I did all of that. I've moved to Tennessee, and my gym's not here. I've got gyms I work with, but nothing that I'm teaching children and doing stuff with. So I said, you know what? I like doing it. I want to keep doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it. So I signed up to become a substitute teacher. It works around my schedule very well. And I get to teach kids again. So I've really enjoyed doing it.
Nice. Can you give us one of your favorite moments teaching the little ones and one of your least favorite moments?
So the least favorite moment, there's not really a least favorite moment. Like the kids, there's so many of them, and there's just always so many of them. And when they get on they want to talk mode, it's like a lot of moments of shut up, all of you. But I'm not allowed to say that. So
don't say it in a nice way.
That's a difference. When I was teaching my MMA, if the kids are being little punks, I can thump them. I can, give them a knock on the head. Can't do that in the public school. Now they all kind of know that I'm not allowed to touch them. So I can look big and be loud, but that's all I'm allowed to do.
You want to, whenever they're being loud, you want to just get up a video of one of your fights where you've absolutely battered someone and just say, look, that's me. Stop it.
Just give them a look while they're watching it. Just see what the reaction is.
Mug them.
But a favorite moment of it. So this was, do you ever see that Key and Peele sketch, Aaron?
Yeah.
Aaron, you better watch. Yeah. So there was a kid in my class. His name was Jay Quellen. And I read his name. It was Jake Kellen. But that was his first name was Jake Kellen. And all day long, I was like, I just want to call on him every day. Jake Kellen, what's happening, bro? what's 2 + 2 or whatever.
Just constantly calling on it. Yeah, I love it.
Jake Kellen, how would you coming up here? Yeah.
So is when you're doing the sub teaching, is that like just a random day here and there, or do you get like a long stint of it sometimes?
Just a random day here or there. I'm supposed to be able to do five a month. But when I go and teach, that means my wife has to be home by herself with our 6 kids. So it's like I plan it with her if I'm going to do it, and it's worked out pretty well. Yeah,
I mean it's good practice. You practically got a classroom at home with 6 kids, haven't you? So, do you ever have days where it just goes amazing and you're sort of reluctant to leave? Like,
I've only done it 5 times so far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I signed up the last half of the school year, so I have done as much as I could, but I've only done it 5 times. So I'm sure I will have days like that. I'm sure I'll have days that just go very well. My first day doing it was a blast. It was just a blessing. They were 4th grade, and they listened and they enjoyed it. And at some point, they found out that they kept calling me famous. I said, I'm not famous. I'm fighter famous. It's not that famous, but they all got a kick out of it. And then what it was the IT guys. They knew who I was. They recognized me, and they lost it. They said, "Oh my God!" They wanted photos and everything, which then the kids picked up on, and I ended up signing 1,000 pieces of paper with an autograph. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds great.
That was some good timing, wasn't it? Talk about kids and little wonders in.
Not new for us.
Yeah, they're like a regular thing on the podcast. So one thing I did want to ask you, obviously with being a substitute teacher and obviously you're from America yourself, I just wanted to get your opinion on the recent shooting that everyone's talking about. Strickland tweeted about teachers should be armed. For you, like, do you agree with that comment? And do you think it will work in combating like school shootings? I know it's a tough topic, like, but I just want your opinion being in that role.
You're gonna go from joking about being a substitute to make me take a stance on if teachers carry guns. No, I responded to his tweet with a tweet. I 100% agree. I think the only way you're going to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. That's just that. There's no other way to do it. You're never going to get rid of guns, nor do I think you should. But that guns are a part of life, at least in America. Good guys with guns should be around. If it's not a teacher, every school should have 1, 2, 3 security guards carrying guns to be able to stop something like this. And that's just I don't think there's a good argument around it. I know people disagree with me, and I tweeted it, and yeah, people disagree with me, and they're not nearly as nice about it as I was to them. But whatever. No, it is a tragedy. It is an absolute tragedy that it happened. But it's something that you'll never be able to cure 100%, but you could limit it. The 94% of shootings happen at no gun places you're not allowed to have a gun. This individual, he broke, I believe it was 4 or 5 different laws being where he was doing what he did. He was already breaking the law. We could add more laws. You just have broken those as well. So if there are teachers on staff that would like to be trained to do it, be comfortable holding, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Guns aren't inherently evil. People are, and if you can teach somebody how to use it, it is a tool. If you can teach somebody how to use it appropriately, it could be a very effective tool.
Yeah. And I was a bit of a mad one. Like I probably used a bad segue there, but I wanted your opinion on it. Like one thing I was thinking, obviously I can't comment too much on it because I don't live there, but does that, like that situation that we mentioned with allowing teachers to carry, does it make that situation harder with like a lot of them being young that are doing the shooting, like teenagers themselves? Is that sort of a grey line, do you think, with that? Grey area, sorry.
Like this, I mean, are you asking if I'm be worried that the teachers use the guns inappropriately and do it themselves?
And not inappropriately, but I think that the lads who done it was 18 years, so he's still a teenager, and it doesn't make that situation hard. So say if this was to go forward where teachers are allowed to carry, does it make that situation more difficult? Because a lot of the time it is young ones coming and doing the shooting with that.
I think, and you won't know for sure because it wasn't the option, but I think if the teachers were allowed to carry, this student wouldn't have gone there. He would have stopped it before it ever happened. And then let's say the kid came and anyways, he could have been stopped. He could have been stopped. He could have been threatened. But I mean, the statistics show pretty drastically that if guns are allowed on the premises, if there's a chance people are carrying there, people don't try and do their damage there.
Yeah.
You go to places that are defenseless. Here, that this cowardly human being, he showed up and he went after the younglings, and that's we can be. I'm glad he was taken out, but I wish it would have happened 19 people or 19 children sooner.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, yeah. To come back to MMA then, as we say. Again, it's a strange.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Instead of guns, we'll give all of the teachers mouth guards and MMA gloves. They'll take care. They'll be. Oh man.
Yeah, why not? Let's give it a try. No, but to come back to MMA, obviously, we said you've been doing this for 14 years. What is MMA given? What's MMA done for your life? How has it impacted it?
I mean, it is my career. I have a house. I don't know if you can kind of see. I have 5 acres here. I have a pond. I have horses. I have sheep. I have birds. I have a family of 6. My wife can be a stay-at-home mother. Even it's given me everything and more than I could have ever wanted. I love this life that I've been able to create with my wife, and MMA being the backbone of it. For the rest of my life, I will be able to use my personality, my intelligence, and my MMA to create a life and a job and a sustainable future for me and my family. I'm just thrilled with what I've been able to do, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of it without the success and without the success I've had and that the UFC having my back.
Yeah, definitely. So the last question then, obviously we said August 9th is when you come back. Whoever you'll be fighting, whoever it is, obviously a lot of people counting you out, but what can people expect when you step in that cage August 9th?
Oh, I've got to hurt him. I mean, I'm not done fighting. This is my last fight on my contract, but it is not the last fight I'm ever going to do. I need to come out and it's a job application. This fight is. I need to go out there and make the UFC want me again. I need to go out there and make everybody want me again. And honestly, my dream job, my true dream job, more than commentator, is WWE superstar. I would quit fighting right now and never touch a mouth guard again if I was allowed to do that. That would be number one. It got me into fighting at the beginning, kinda. It's a job application for whatever comes next. I need to go out there. I need a statement, not just to win the fight, but to secure my future in whatever it is I choose to do.
Well, if you do decide to wrestle, we know you've got the mic skills.
Yeah.
They come again.
So I've got to ask before we let you go. You mentioned obviously you were trained with weapons and stuff before you started MMA, and obviously you just said you're a big WWE fan. Was Steve Blackman back in the Attitude Era? Was he someone you were
most
fond
dangerous
of?
man?
Yeah.
I do have a couple kendo sticks. I still do. I was never trained in kendo sticks, but I love sparring with my kids, and they're allowed to hit me, and I'm allowed to block. But oh man, it stings when they get me.
Yeah, I can imagine. They don't look pleasant, I got to admit.
Yeah.
Well, no, I had to get that in there because I'm a big wrestling fan myself. So.
Oh, love it. Who's your man? So I'm Attitude Era all day. The Rock is my favorite. He's wonderful. But nowadays, of course, I like Brock. I like Rousey, actually, and I wasn't crazy about her fighting, but I like her. I like the way she falls. She falls very convincingly. But who's your current favorite?
Current, I'd probably have to say Roman Reigns at the minute. Just
okay,
the character work and all and everything. But all time for me, it's The Rock as well.
Okay, yeah, you can't
he was
go
just
wrong with The Rock.
Yeah. What do you make of all like the MMA guys going over into WWE? Obviously, you got like Brock was in there before Ronda Rousey. You've got like Matt Riddle, Shayna Baszler. There's loads of them now, isn't there?
Matt Riddle's right up there with my favorite in the current WWE roster. He's so much fun. You know what? When they have a personality like Matt Riddle does, I love that they go over. But I don't think Paige Van Zandt is going to be any good at AEW. I think she's going to be terrible. And I think there's more to wrestling, being athletic and willing to fall. I think you need that little something extra. Rousey has it with her judo training. She falls really well. She makes me fall well. She's terrible on a microphone. Terrible on a microphone.
Yeah.
But
the less she speaks, the better.
I think Paige is going to be bad. But I love seeing MMA guys. Well, hey, buddy.
We got an intruder. Say hi, yeah.
Hi.
Hey, my friend. How are you?
Say hello.
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 This is Smilen Sam Alvey. Can you tell? Got a big smile on his face. Come on then, mate.
Well, Sam, it's been really great to chat with you today. Again, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to have a chat with us.
Oh, absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much for wanting me on.
I apologise for the intrusion, mate.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, we'll be rooting for you
on
August 9th.
Well, hey, keep me posted. I would love to do it again. Tag me.
Absolutely.
I should tell everybody. Follow me on TikTok. That's Smilensam. But I love talking to you guys.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Your time, mate. Just in case anyone didn't hear him, Smilen Sam on his socials. These are too loud. Apologies, mate.
Guys, I'll talk to you.
Enjoy the rest of your day, mate.
See you, mate.
Get off of my head.
And that was Smilen Sam Alvey. And as you can tell, we've been absolutely intruded, well and truly. I'm going to end the live there because this is absolute madness right now. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed us chatting to Sam, and we'll catch